Windass, Giovanni and Jarrod Bowen, all players who played and worked here at the MKM. Years and years of history lay behind these walls, and today we get to explore this monumental stadium. Yes, for the first time in years, Hull City opened their doors to the public and for people all over the country to see what it's like to be a Hull City star. From the tunnel to the changing rooms to the executive boxes, here's your Hull City Stadium tour. But first, here's some information on the MKM Stadium and also the old and historic Booth Ferry Park. Founded in 1904, Hull first moved into their old stadium, Booth Ferry Park, in 1946, where the Tigers won many promotions as well as heartbreaking relegations. The record attendance at Boothferry was over 50,000 between Hull City versus Manchester United. Following an awful season in the third division, Hull City departed from their home at Boothferry and moved to a better, more modern stadium we now know as the MKM. Boothferry was later demolished and turned into a supermarket in 2007. Since then, the Tigers have seen many promotions and even made it to the Premier League and an FA Cup final. Hull now sit in the Championship, the second division of England, following double relegations and the second league title since founded. Now we move on to the stadium tour. We began our day with a short 15-minute wait before the tour began, with a waiting room full of memories and a very limited trophy cabinet. The trophies include our runner-up consolation trophies, as well as the famous playoff final cup and the more recent League One Winners' Cup. As the clock struck 4, our tour guide, who had been working with Hull for over 20 years, gave us a quick rundown on what was happening, and into the elevator we went to the second floor. The first room we explored was the boardroom, which was used on match days by the directors of both clubs, where they endured on a 3-course meal and a lovely view of these shirts, as well as the most important bit, a free paid bar. After a quick few minutes, we moved on to our first view of the pitch, which from the executive boxes. Each box is rented out per season for £13,500 a year, which included a 10-person room with fancy sandwiches and an incredible view of the pitch. In my opinion, I'd rather have the pulled pork chips from the West Stand. On the left-hand side of the stadium was a control room where they control security around the stadium. On the right-hand side of the stadium was a TV box where presenters from Sky Sports and iFollow can sit during the match. We then made our way back to reception, out of the stadium and into the media suite, where players, managers and press all head a day before the game to answer all the questions, as well as after the game when they discuss why they got battered again. Of course, 5-year-old me wanted a photo so I could pretend to be Andy Dawson. A short trip later to possibly the worst room in the stadium, the away dressing room. With many flaws and managers' complaints, the room was deliberately grey, dull, less ventilation, and also this.
Here. To go to and from the pitch, they go through that door that we've come in. There's only one light switch in this room, it's here. So this is what they walk into at half time. Oh God. Oh.
But I suppose on the positives, many players have sat where we did today, including Rooney, Ronaldo and even Accrington Stanley. Then made our way down the hall, passing many boxes, family rooms and many more photo opportunities, until we reached the home dressing room. Must admit, it wasn't anything too special, just your bog standard changing rooms, but it did give us a chance to see the lineup tomorrow and many photos with players' actual match-worn shirts. It's not a tour without seeing the gloom and doom of the toilets as well. After this, we made our way down to the tunnel with a quick pit stop at the referee rooms, manager rooms and a spare interview room if we play a good team. Briefly after this, we arrived at the tunnel and well, without explanation, it was a moment I'd always been dreaming of. I'll tell you what, it's not a bad view, eh? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're here at the ground. We're literally near enough stood on the pitch. I suppose, look at that, that's amazing. I've had a talk with the person who's hosting this, and it's 90% real grass and 10% artificial. I'll tell you what, the stadium does feel quite small when you stood around like this, but I'll tell you now, when there's 25,000 people chanting your name, you're gonna feel electric. Then the day was nearly over. We made our way back to the final lounge, the famous Kingston Suite, where we heard stories about the famous Dean Windass's goal against Bristol, as well as a thank you for coming. And then we were right back where we started, the main reception. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have finished the Hull City Stadium tour, and it was one of my favourite tours. I've been to a few, I've been to the Ibrox, Manchester United, even Ajax and Barcelona, but I tell you what, as a Hull boy, as a fan, this was incredible. It wasn't very long, it was brief, but we got to see the changing rooms, the actual match-worn shirts, and we also got to go right next to the pitch. Maybe this tour was a bit different to the ones that you've experienced in the past. It is a day before a game against Blackburn Rovers, and we got to find out a lot of interesting facts. We found out there's a hawk living in the stadium that kills pigeons. We've got a cat that lives in the janitor's locker, and we've also got a very shabby away changing rooms, which Arsene Wenger has complained a lot about. It was such an amazing experience, and we even got to go near the pitch, and I got to film a bit of my vlog for tomorrow's matchday vlog. In all, a very enjoyable afternoon. It may not compare to Barcelona's trophy room and Man United's trophy room, but we saw a Hull City trophy, which is a little bit more than Tottenham's. Now I'm going to keep this outro short and sweet because I do have a lot of editing and a vlog to prepare for tomorrow, but what a day it's been. It was such an experience, and we hopefully in the next summer holidays or whenever Hull feel like it, we get another vlog, which would be good. Another stadium tour. Maybe one day we'll get invited to one of them pizza nights, but I highly doubt that. Thank you so much for watching this stadium tour vlog. It would really mean a lot if you could like, subscribe, and maybe even turn on notifications. Now this is the first vlog that isn't a match day vlog, but if you have enjoyed these sort of things, I can carry on. I don't know what else there is to do about Hull. There's not a lot to film at the stadium, but if there's another opportunity, we take it, we vlog it, and hopefully we can enjoy it together. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for Blackburn Rovers at home at the MKM. The sun is shining, the sun is setting, and I think this is time to call it goodbye. I'll see you all tomorrow. Up the Tigers!